12 hours, that's all it took to erase one of the most beautiful cities in Europe. What happened next took 60 years, and it's almost impossible to believe. This is the story of Dresden. This was Dresden in 1944, called the Florence of the North, the most beautiful baroque city in all of Europe. The Frauenkirche cathedral had stood for 200 years, its sandstone dome visible for miles in every direction. The boulevards were lined with Art Nouveau palaces. Over 1 million tourists came here every single year. The Elbe riverfront was known across Europe as the balcony of Europe. Kings and writers came here just to see this view. The Altmarkt Square had been the beating heart of Dresden for 700 years. Markets, celebrations, ordinary life. February 13th, 1945. The war was almost over. Dresden had no military value. The city was packed with refugees fleeing the Eastern Front. At 10:15 p.m., 796 RAF Lancaster bombers appeared in the sky. Nobody in Dresden was prepared for what came next. The incendiary bombs created a firestorm. Temperatures reached 1,500 degrees Celsius. The fire generated its own wind, pulling people into the flames. The Zwinger Palace, built in 1710, burned through the night. 3 centuries of art and architecture gone in hours. By morning, 1,600 acres of city center were completely flat. The Florence of the North no longer existed. The Frauenkirche collapsed into a pile of rubble. East Germany left the ruins standing for 50 years as a permanent war memorial. Between 22,000 and 25,000 people died that night. Survivors walked through a city they no longer recognized. Then something extraordinary happened. Women, called Trümmerfrauen, rubble women, began clearing the ruins by hand, passing bricks one by one. By 1950, the first buildings were rising from the cleared rubble. But Dresden was now behind the Iron Curtain in East Germany. Master craftsmen spent decades carving exact replicas of every Baroque detail, working from the original 1710 architectural drawings. In 1996, the world came together to rebuild the Frauenkirche. Every original stone was pulled from the rubble, numbered and placed back in its exact position. Piece by piece, decade by decade, the skyline came back. The same buildings, the same proportions, the same stone. October 30th, 2005, the Frauenkirche bells rang for the first time since 1945. 60 years of silence, broken. The Zwinger Palace stood complete again, identical to 1710. Experts called it impossible. Dresden did it anyway. Look at this, a photograph from 1944 and a photograph from today. The same square, the same buildings, 80 years apart. The balcony of Europe, exactly as it was. The same paddle steamers on the Elbe, the same skyline the kings once admired. Today, the Frauenkirche stands perfect and complete. Look at the walls. Dark stones are the originals from 1945 rubble. The light ones are new. One building, the whole story. At night, Dresden glows golden. The Baroque facades illuminated exactly as they were before the war. Inside the Zwinger courtyard, the same fountains, the same roses, the same golden details. Every single stone replaced by hand. The old town streets look identical to photographs from 1944. The same flower boxes, the same cobblestones, the same city. In the morning mist, the city reflects perfectly in the Elbe. It looks like nothing ever happened, but everything happened here. Today, children play in the Zwinger fountains, in a courtyard that was ash just 80 years ago. This is what resilience actually looks like. Dresden was destroyed in 12 hours. It took 60 years to bring it back, but it came back, identical, beautiful, and alive. Next, Hiroshima. Subscribe so you don't miss it.